Continuing my quotations blogging, here is a nice quote by John Neff. As I see it, a superior dividend yield at least lets you snack on the hors d'oeuvres, which is the starters, while waiting for the main meal. This is a beautiful way to sum up how dividend investing helps. Like I have said many times in the past, I've been a dividend investor and I've very closely monitored yield. Especially 4 or 5 years after I have bought a share, the yield has to be at least double the GSEC yield, and that's what I get on my cost. And once I get that, I know I can fill it, fit it and forget it. And the fact is, during this waiting period, when I'm waiting for the share price to go up, I'm not monitoring the share price. This is something very difficult for you to believe maybe, but I'm not monitoring the share price. I'm monitoring the dividend. Or even better, I'm monitoring the EPS and market share. There are only two things which I'm monitoring. I'm not monitoring anything else. Leave alone a time like now when COVID has struck every business and it has struck my Indigo very badly. Indigo, even at this time, I just want them to have a decent market share, because I feel after that the return on net worth and return on capital employed will follow. When new people will not come. One thing which COVID will teach people is people will now be far more frugal and far more sensible while investing. So you will not find any Tom, Dick and Harry starting an airline. So there is no worry of some free guy coming in and ruining Indigo's market share. Do I think after 3-4 years they will have better market share? Maybe not. Will they have better margins? Maybe yes. If they are not worried about newcomers coming in, they will hold on to their price. Right now, during a boom, they are worried that some new guy will come in. That you have to live with that during the initial phase, right? Like when the automobile industry was launched, if you did well, some new manufacturer would come. That is always. So this is the advantage of getting a good dividend, is you can sit tight and wait for the price to move and not worry about the price as long as the market share is going up. If you're getting 5-6% yield and on a share and a company which is not losing money, which is decently able to pay you a dividend, and the share price is not moving up, that's still fine, because 8%, 9%, 7% dividend yield is fabulous in a country where interest rates are not that high, right? So if interest rates, if the gilt is available at 5% and you get 7% on a share, there is absolutely nothing for you to worry. You know, over a period of time, if these dividend rates are maintained, which means the EPS is maintained, the share prices will double. You don't have to worry at all. So that is the advantage of dividend yield investing. So I'll take you to one more. Again, to Buffett's quote. Every decade or so, dark clouds will fill the economic skies and they will briefly rain gold, right? When downpours of that sort occur, it is imperative that we rush outdoors carrying wash tubs, not teaspoons. That is very good. And this again comes from my learning from Naren, that you have got to know sizing. If somebody tells you this is a good share, go and do some research on that. Talk to people, find out. If you're convinced that it is a good share, put at least 10 to 15% of your net worth. So if you have a net worth of 1 crore, or if you have net worth of 1 crore in equities, put at least 15 lakhs. Now people with 1 crore go and put 25,000 or 50,000. It will not move the needle, right? Take bigger stakes and then keep booking profits. Like for example, if you buy a share at 40 rupees and you think it has got an intrinsic value of 200 rupees, keep buying more and more, and also sell. Buy at 40, if it goes to 60 in a hurry, sell at 60, but buy it back at 55. Don't be too greedy, right? Sell at 70, buy at 65, sell at 75, buy it at 65. Keep doing this, but largely it should be accumulation oriented. Let's say you bought 25,000 shares and your target is to pick up 50,000 shares or 1 lakh shares. With that 20,000, play with 5,000 so that you can keep on doing that and keep on reducing your total average cost at which you're holding, or just booking profit, whatever you want to call it. Only you can do it because you've got 5,000 shares to give delivery. Otherwise, the other guy has to do a naked short, and naked short is far more difficult, right? And if it is not an F&O share, he cannot do F&O, he'll have to do a naked short, and that's difficult, right? So Sizing of the sizing is very important according to what Buffett says also, right? So wait for a long time, maybe wait for 3-4 years. One day the market will do so badly. On that day, don't go and nibble, don't buy 500 shares. Go and buy 5,000 shares, 10,000 shares, 20,000 shares. Put 20% of your net worth or your equity net worth into it. Have the guts to do that, because that is what will make you money, not just. And believe me, there are no rules. I've done one thing saying my holy grail of investing. I have no holy grails. It is not that always I will pick up that kind of quantity. When DHFL fell and it slipped, I was picking up big quantities, and my broker said, no, you will have an upper ceiling. You will not have more than 500 shares of this shit company. And I stuck to that, and today I'm very, very happy, because my average price could be in the region of 70. And I have 500 shares or 600 shares, which is much better than having, say, I would have otherwise had something like 20,000 shares, right? So you should know how to do sizing. Sizing is very important, but you should also know when to cut your losses very quickly. So your big ideas in investing can make sense only if the big results are going to help you add the value to your portfolio. If that doesn't happen, then you're wasting time. That's all.